Hello everyone, welcome to the March 4th, 2018 edition of the Astrology News Report. I'm your intrepid host, Ron Berger. In this segment, we'll take a look at the upcoming planetary patterns and predictions. What's on the celestial agenda for March 4th to March 11th and beyond. But before beginning, a little reminder to viewers to please help out covering the costs of keeping this weekly report going. Your donation of even $10 means a lot. Stick around for the donation link at the end of the video. Thanks. There are a bunch of new developments in the zodiac in early March, the first of which actually occurred a couple of days ago, March 1st, when Venus changed signs, leaving Aquarius and entering Pisces. Venus is considered exalted in Pisces. It's the planet of love and agreement in the sign of faith and support. A great planetary combination for relationships. Venus is the planet of art. Pisces is imaginative. So this is also a good combination for creativity and entertainment. On the heels of Venus changing signs, Mercury changed signs, also leaving sidereal Aquarius and entering Pisces, where it again joins up with Venus. Venus may be exalted in Pisces, but for Mercury, this is its sign of debilitation. The reason is that Mercury is the planet of the rational mind. Pisces is the sign of mutable water. Pisces is based in the sentimental emotions. Not a good place for the planet of logical linear thinking. On the other hand, this is a good placement for intuitive thinking. In other words, jumping over the rational process and coming to a conclusion based on gut feelings. Venus and Mercury will ride together through Pisces for the next 3 weeks, until Venus moves to Aries on March 26th. Mercury stays behind in Pisces due to entering a retrograde phase, which begins on March 22nd. I'll be saying more on Mercury retrograde in an upcoming report. So, what happens when we get Venus conjunct Mercury in Pisces for 3 weeks? Venus is the planet of relationship. Mercury is the planet of communication. Pisces is the sign of hope and faith. So this is a good combination for the relationship area, but the emphasis on the Pisces faith in a good outcome can lead to a lack of realism. Again, Mercury, the planet of rational thinking and logical decisions, is at a disadvantage here. Mars changes signs this week, leaving Scorpio and entering Sagittarius on March 7th. Mars, the planet of action, likes being in a fire sign. Mars's fiery qualities of aggressive action and fast results go well with the qualities of Sagittarius, the sign of independence and self-righteous truth. Mars, planet of action, impels Sagittarius to act on the basis of what it believes. But there's a problem. Saturn is already in this sign. The planet of delay, rules, and maturity sees Mars as its enemy. Mars is impatience. Saturn is caution. Mars is eager. Saturn is doubtful. The exact conjunction doesn't happen until April 2nd, but that doesn't mean we'll have to wait that long to see effects. The downside of Saturn conjunct Mars will be Saturn holding Mars back, resulting in a buildup of tension and pressure, which could eventually explode. At its worst, Saturn's inclination to produce suffering, plus Mars's signification of force, indicates punishment, and can even produce outright cruelty. On the upside, Saturn can control and prolong the energy of Mars, leading to sustained, focused effort to attain the desired goal. But this too can get out of hand and turn into ruthlessness. Thus, this planetary combination has both a negative and a positive potential. Frustration and destruction, or determined accomplishment, which could be for negative or positive reasons. If this transit combination affects natal planets in your Vedic birth chart, the outcome will be problematic because both Mars and Saturn are natural malefics, in other words, capable of causing harm to whatever they affect. So, if you have natal planets in Sagittarius, or the sign opposite, Gemini, the significations of those planets will be in for a rough ride in March and April. Let's use one of my favorite charts as an example, Donald Trump. Since he is Leo rising, the Mars-Saturn combination will transit in his 5th house of children and investments. Of course, his children are already in hot water, which now will become hotter. His investments are already being scrutinized by, well, everyone. Mars and Saturn's combined aspect, opposing his 11th house, the house of friends and associates, bodes ill for Trump's associates during March and April. And Mars and Saturn will directly oppose Trump's natal Mercury in Gemini, giving serious grief to his planet of rational thinking and communication, causing him to be even more irrational than usual. In other words, a real King Lear performance coming up. Jupiter begins a 4-month-long retrograde period on March 9th. Retrograde planets are close to the Earth, therefore strong, but not behaving normally. Jupiter is in the last degree of Libra. The very end of a sign is considered to be weak for a planet. So, with Jupiter both strong and weak, as well as backwards, we can't be sure of how it will manifest. Most likely, we'll see the non-material significations of Jupiter benefit. It's the planet of wisdom, judgment, and law, in the sign of fairness and equality, going back over the past. Jupiter has another important role to play this month. It is the dispositor of 5 of the other planets. Venus and Mercury are in Jupiter's sign Pisces. Mars, Saturn, and Pluto are in Jupiter's sign Sagittarius. Thus, Jupiter owns these planets. Their energy gets loaned to Jupiter, and Jupiter's condition becomes important for determining how much strength or weakness these other planets have for manifesting their significations. Since Jupiter is retrograde at the end of a sign, it's harder for these other planets to realize their potential, making the whole month rather weak for tangible results. Looking ahead a bit, another zodiacal event that is important this month is the Chaitra New Moon on Saturday, March 17th. This is the new moon in Pisces, which generally happens in March each year. It has special significance in Vedic astrology because it is the traditional starting point of the Vedic New Year. It's called the Chaitra New Moon because it initiates the Hindu lunar month Chaitra, named for the nakshatra of the full moon Chitra, except that this year, 2018, the full moon will actually fall in the previous nakshatra Hasta, but it is still used to mark the Vedic Lunar Year cycle. So, how do we make use of this chart of the beginning of the Vedic year for predictions? The Pisces new moon sets the tone for geopolitical trends for the next 12 months. The way to use it is to set up the chart for the actual time of the new moon for a specific location that we want to predict for, usually the capital of a country. So, here it is for Washington, D.C. First, we notice the Aries ascendant with Uranus. Aries is the sign of action and initiative. Uranus is the planet of independence and rebellion. This suggests that the U.S. will go its own way during 2018. But wait, Mars, the ruler of the ascendant sign, is in the ninth house of courts and laws, and with Saturn, planet of restriction. Sounds like the legal system is going to get in the way of the Aries independent action. Also, Mars plus Saturn is a powerful conjunction, giving the ninth house of legalities the energy of determined effort and a feeling of inevitable accomplishment. Wonder what that could be. Now look at the new moon. It's in the 12th house, along with Venus, planet of guidance and values, and Mercury, planet of data and information, rational thinking, and making decisions. The 12th house is the house of hidden activity, foreigners, spies, criminals, treason, and prisons. So, this chart confirms what is already going on in the country. No big surprises here, and a bit ominous for the midterm elections. Let's pick another location of interest. Everyone wants to know how Brexit comes out, so how about London? Actually, this same chart turns out to cover most all of Europe. Here we get a Cancer rising chart, with the Pisces new moon in the 9th house. Cancer is a sign very concerned with the stability and security of kith and kin. The emphasis on the 9th house is similar to what we saw with the Washington, D.C. chart, in other words, courts, laws, legalities. And here, the malefic Mars-Saturn combination shows up in the 6th house of struggle, difficulties, and the working class of the country. Looks like the UK and the EU are in for a rough year, with the emphasis on protecting their own interests. And now, once again, my little pitch for donations. If you appreciate what this YouTube channel does for you, please help support it and me by visiting the donation page and making a contribution. Just click on or touch the donation card you see here. Thanks, and until next week.